Hello there. We're gonna be playing a psychopath in a story without restrictions. Forget video games or even books. Anything goes here. So let's get started. Okay, as I stare into the cracked mirror of my dimly lit bathroom, I can't help but study the reflection that gazes back at me. My full name. My name is God. I mastered the art of invisibility as I see a figure standing before me, perfectly crafted to blend into the background of this mundane world. Age. Let's say that I'm 25. This is my mask, my facade, a meticulously constructed illusion that allows me to walk among them without raising suspicion. I see the dull gleam in my eyes, the corners of my mouth curling into a knowing smirk. They have no idea who I really am. What I'm capable of. Female? Oh, crap. This life is a game, and I'm the master player, orchestrating every detail with precision. Appearance? Short, slender woman. I've learned to manipulate the unsuspecting, to charm and deceive, all while biding my time. Each day I perfect my craft, studying their weaknesses, their fears, and their desires, justifying my actions, has become second nature. I can tell myself they are simply the next steps in a much larger plan. A plan that they, in their ignorance, have invited me to execute. Location. Let's go Tokyo. They don't deserve the mercy of ignorance. They are weak, and I'm strong. I will remind them of their fragility. We're going with knife. It's very accessible. You take one last look in the cracked mirror, the reflection of your calculated demeanor staring back at you. Satisfied with your appearance, you step out of the bathroom into the dimly lit hallway of your home. The air is thick with anticipation, and a slight thrill races through your veins. Every shadow feels alive, a reminder that outside these walls lies a world of unsuspecting prey. You move silently, your footsteps barely making a sound on the floorboards as you approach the front door. With each step, the weight of your intentions grows heavier, the thrill of the hunt igniting a familiar hunger deep within you. Tonight, you will choose your target, someone to manipulate, to charm, to ultimately destroy. You can almost taste the excitement in the air as you grasp the doorknob, ready to embrace the darkness waiting beyond. You turn the knob slowly, the metal cool against your fingers, and push the door open, revealing the bustling streets of Tokyo outside. The neon lights cast long, dancing shadows on the wet pavement, and the air is filled with the hum of distant traffic and the chatter of late-night pedestrians. You step out, the door clicking shut behind you, and you blend into the crowd like a predator among the herd. I guess we're gonna keep walking for now. Let's see something good first. You scan the crowd, your eyes narrowing as you search for your next target. The city is a playground of possibilities, each person a potential puppet to be manipulated and controlled. Your gaze lands on a man standing alone at a nearby bus stop, his head buried in his phone, oblivious to the world around him. You smirk, seeing him as the perfect mark, a man lost in his own little world, easily influenced. Walk up to him, smiling and playfully, calling him out. As you approach the man, your smile is wild and disarming, a mask that hides your true intentions. You saunter up to him, your heels clicking against the pavement, and lean against the bus stop pole beside him. Oi, aren't you a little old to be playing on your phone all night? You say, your voice laced with a playful, teasing tone. Continue. The man looks up from his phone, startled by your sudden appearance. His eyes scan you quickly, taking in your short, slender frame, your tight black dress, and your confident smile. He's taken aback, but tries to play it cool. A slight smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. Well, look at what we have here, he says. His voice is a low rumble. Okay. Ask him, what is he watching? Right. That might be a little boring. But this could be a good way to learn what interests him. So, what's so fascinating on that little screen of yours? That's a great way to put it. You ask, tilting your head slightly and raising an eyebrow. I love that we're going with a playful style. Your eyes gleam with a false curiosity as you maintain your smile, your gaze flicking between his face and the phone he still clutches. The man hesitates for a moment, then turns the screen toward you, showing a news article with a headline about the recent political scandal. Just catching up on the latest news. What should we do? Say that you are a little worried about the future. And it makes you feel a little alone. Alone. Okay. This might be kind of like contrast to our previously playful tone, but maybe we can play playful too. The man's eyebrows furrow slightly, his eyes softening as he takes in your words. He leans in a bit closer, his voice dropping to a more intimate level. Yeah, it's a scary world out there, he agrees, his voice laced with a genuine concern. It's hard to trust anyone these days, isn't it? Your nod, your smile turning into a small, sad pout. Exactly. I think I'm just gonna get close to him to watch it together. Pressing my breasts against his arm. Let's see if this works. You get close. Okay. You lean in, your breath hot against his ear, as you whisper, "Let's read it together, shall we?" Your hand reaches out, gently brushing against his arm. As you guide it towards the screen, you press your breasts against him, just enough to feel the warmth of his body through his shirt. He stiffens slightly, a mix of surprise and arousal flicking across his face. And say, keep watching. And, smile at him. Okay, let's go with that. As you lean in, your eyes scanning the screen together, you can't help but notice that the way his arm tenses under your touch. You smile wider, your hips brushing against his ear as you whisper, "You know, it's scary out here alone. Maybe we should find a place to talk more comfortably." I didn't say that. Your hand lingers on his arm, your thumb tracing small circles on his skin. I think the ball is in his court now. The man's breath hitches, a soft gasp escaping his lips. He swallows hard, his Adam's apple bobbing as he tries to maintain his composure. I guess that could be nice, he stammers, his voice barely above a whisper. His eyes dart around, taking in your appearance once more, his gaze lingering on your dress and the curve of your lips. Okay, let's mention that you live alone, that you came to Tokyo for work, and despite how many people live here, you feel so alone. The man's eyes meet yours, a genuine concern reflected in them. He nods slowly, his voice soft as he says, "I know what you mean. I moved here for work too, and it can be so isolating, especially in a city this big, where everyone's so focused on their own lives." He leans in slightly, his arm still pressed against yours, his hand now resting gently on your lower back. We're gonna continue. Your heartbeat quickens, but your expression remains unchanged. You've struck the right chord, playing on his sympathies, his own loneliness. You can almost see the wheels turning in his head, his guard dropping. You leaning closer, your breath now mingling with his, your voice barely above a whisper. "I have a place not too far from here. We could talk more comfortably there." Well, let him answer. You guide his arm, your fingers intertwining with his as you lead him away from the bus stop, your steps measured and confident. The city's neon lights reflect off the wet streets. The air damp and cool against your skin. You can feel his heart racing through his chest, the tension in his arm as he walks beside you. Hold his hand and smile at him. Okay, let's go with that. I should have said keep walking too. As you hold his hand, your fingers intertwining with his, you feel a surge of power. His hand is warm, slightly clammy with sweat, a sign of his growing nervousness and excitement. You smile at him, your lips curling into a predator's grin. Yet your eyes remain cold and calculating. He smiles back, his eyes wide and trusting, a sheep led to the slaughter. I think we should just, probably just keep it nonverbal here. We might see something stupid. Alright. Or just let him throw up a ball, right? Maybe he feels like he needs to keep the conversation going here. If I just keep saying dumb bullshit here, that's probably not gonna help. Your steps are purposeful, your grip on his hand firm yet gentle, guiding him through the winding streets of Tokyo. The city buzzes around you, a symphony of neon lights and distant conversations, but your focus remains solely on the man at your side. You lead him to a narrow alleyway, hidden from the main street by a tangle of vines and shadows. I would be tempted to just go and get a little bit personal with him, but considering we are in Tokyo, this guy might be just uncomfortable with that. Feels like we are breaking some kind of social rules. But I do have a good idea. This is an alley, right? Act like I'm a little scared. Okay. Get closer to him like I was scared. You pull him closer, your body pressing against his, your eyes wide and fearful. You lean your hand against his chest, your breath coming in quick, shallow gasps. You feel his heartbeat steady and strong, a stark contrast to your own erratic pulse. You tremble slightly, your hands clutching at his shirt, your voice a soft whisper. I'm so sorry, I'm just so scared. His hands come up to cup your shoulders, his grip firm and reassuring. Shh, it's okay, he says, his voice soothing. And what are you scared of? I'm here now. His breath is warm on your hair, his heartbeat a steady rhythm against your cheek. You can feel the tension in his body, the subtle shift in his stance as he prepares to protect you. Okay, we're gonna smile at him and gently lay my head on his shoulder. Okay. Or arm? I think it's gonna be arm because I'm short. You press your head gently against his arm. You smile soft and inviting, yet your eyes remain watchful. You can feel his muscles tense slightly under your touch, a subtle reaction to your proximity. You're so strong, you whisper, your voice barely above a breath. I can feel safe with you. His heartbeat quickens, his breath hitching slightly. Okay, well, let's keep walking too. You can see the pride swell in his chest, his posture straightening as he basks in your compliment. You lean back slightly, just enough to look into his eyes, your own gaze unblinking and intense. I've been feeling so alone lately, you continue, your voice laced with a hint of sadness. It's just been so hard, you know. He swallows hard, his Adam's apple bobbing in his throat, his eyes searching yours for a moment before he speaks. I understand. Tokyo can be a lonely place. I felt that way too, sometimes. His voice is gentle, his hand still resting on your shoulders, a comforting weight. You can see the gears turning in his mind, the empathy and concern rising within him. You've hooked him, reeled him in. Okay. Say that we should keep going. I don't want to be in the alley for long. You leaning closer, your voice barely above whisper. We shouldn't stay here too long. What if someone sees us? Your eyes flicker with a calculated fear, a convincing display of vulnerability. You can see the concern rise in his eyes, the wheels turning in his mind as he considers your words. You're right, he agrees, his voice firm and with resolve. Let's find somewhere more private. Okay, well. Well, we were going to my place. Keep going to my place. And we don't have to swap by anywhere else. You guide him further down the alley. Your place steady and deliberate. You can feel his hand resting lightly on your lower back, a possessive touch that sends a shiver down your spine. The alley is narrow, the walls closing in around you, casting long shadows that dance with the dim glow of the distant streetlights. The air is thick with the scent of damp concrete and the faint hint of rotting garbage. Let's keep going. It takes forever to get home. As you lead him deeper into the alley. Do I live in an alley? You notice the quiet hum of the city fading behind you, replaced by the soft echo of your footsteps. You can feel the tension in his body, a mix of anticipation and weariness. His grip on your back tightens slightly, a silent acknowledgement of the isolation you've both stepped into. The alley forks up ahead, casting a darker shadow over the path less traveled. Smile at him, but what else? We're just going home. It's gonna take a long time. And walk home with him, right? This walk home is taking too long. As you walk hand in hand with your unsuspecting target, you can't help but appreciate the stark contrast between the neon-lit city and the dark, isolated alley. The cold concrete beneath your feet is a stark reminder of the harsh reality awaiting him, while the warmth of his hand on your back is a comforting reminder of your control over him. Okay, but keep going. You guide him through the winding, shadowy path, your steps echoing in the empty alley. The city's noise fades, replaced by the soft rustle of trash and the distant hum of a generator. Your home is small, run-down apartment on the edge of a less desirable district, a place where no one would think to look for him. My apartment sucks so bad that if I killed someone there, no one will find him? Oh boy. I guess that is convenient, but damn. Alright, continue. As you lead him towards your apartment, you notice the tension in his shoulders, a subtle sign of his growing unease. He follows you. His grip on your hand tightens slightly, as if seeking reassurance. The alley is a labyrinth of darkness, the only light filtering in from the distant streetlights, casting eerie shadows on the grimy walls. Okay. Grip his hand a little tighter and smile at him. Should we? Oh, no. Let's just go with the first one. Maybe he's gonna put up a good show if he thinks I'm scared. You grip his hand a little tighter, feeling the bones beneath his skin as you squeeze. He looks at you, a hint of concern in his eyes, but he says nothing. You can feel the warmth of his hand, life in it, and it sends a thrill through you. You're in control, guiding him deeper into your web. The alley is a perfect hunting ground, the shadows your allies. But we're getting to my apartment, man. What should I say? Enter your apartment with him? Go there? We're spending way too much time in this alley. I know I live in a dump, but... As you push open the creaky door to your apartment, the smell of stale air and the faint echo of your footsteps greet you both. The space is dimly lit. Oh my god, I didn't think about this. Is my place such a dump that I look like a total psychopath? The space is dimly lit, with only a single bare light bulb hanging from the ceiling, casting long dancing shadows across the worn-out furniture. You guide him inside, your grip on his hand still firm and reassuring. Damn, what should I say? I think he already sees it. He just thinks I'm poor, I think. Which probably is also true. Alright, let's continue. Maybe let him pass the ball to me first. As you guide him inside, the door slams shut behind you, the sound echoing through the small apartment like a gunshot. The sudden silence is deafening. The city's distant hum, now a mere whisper. You can see the uncertainty in his eyes as he looks around, taking the cluttered space, the peeling wallpaper, and the faint smell of bleach that you've tried to mask with cheap air freshener. Say that. Sorry, it's not glamorous, but it was cheap. And smile. You flash him a smile, your eyes cold and calculating behind the thin veil of warmth. I'm sorry, it's not more glamorous, you say, your voice dripping with insecurity. But it was cheap and it suits my needs. Besides, you continue, your smile never wavering. It's not like you will be staying long enough to appreciate the decor, will you? Why say the last part? No, that's terrible. Maybe, at best he's gotta take insecurity as insecurity? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna correct. Yeah, I'm saying, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I hope you will. Okay, let's go with that. You let go of his hand, taking a step back to give him some space. I'm sorry, you say, your voice softening slightly, but still cold. I hope you will. You watch as he takes in the apartment, his eyes darting around the room, taking in the details. You can see the gears turning in his head, the uncertainty and the fear slowly creeping in. Okay. Might I do this? Wow, I was a little creepy, but like it was like a pretty positive. I think just like go drink something warm, eat something warm. Yeah. Would you like some tea? Dinner maybe? Let's go with that. Or I could just try to tackle him. Then just ask him. Hey, would you like some tea? Let's start with something small. So I'm not gonna make like a gourmet dinner first. You turn to face him, a smile playing on your lips. Would you like some tea? You ask, your voice soft and inviting. You can see the hesitation in his eyes, the slight shake of his head as he looks around the apartment, his mind no doubt tracing with doubts and fears. But he nods, a small smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. Yes, tea would be nice, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. Okay. We're gonna make tea, and when we drink it, we're gonna drink it first. So he knows it's not poison. I would be thinking that it's gotta be poison, right? I could be a little paranoid in general, who knows? So we make tea, and when it's ready, I pour for the both of us, but I drink first to show it's fine. You move the small kitchenette in the corner of the room. Yeah, move too. Okay. The floorboards creaking under your feet. You keep an eye on him as you fill the kettle with water, your movements precise and deliberate. You place the kettle on the stove, the flame roaring to life with a loud whoosh. As you wait for the water to boil, you watch him from the corner of your eye. He's still standing in the same spot. This is terrible, man. Should have said, why not just at least sit down, man? His hands stuffed into his pockets, his shoulders tense. Man. You can see the wheels turning in his head, doubt and fear growing. You almost smile, but you don't want to break the illusion of calm that you've created. Do I have like a fucking couch somewhere? Okay. Invite him to sit on the couch. When the tea is ready, I sit with him and we drink the tea. Okay, this may be a bit much. You gesture to the warm, velvet, upholstered sofa in the corner of the room, the only piece of furniture that isn't completely covered in a thin layer of dust. Please, have a seat, you say, your voice smooth and inviting. You watch as he hesitates for a moment, his eyes flicking back and forth between the sofa and the door. Ah! Yeah, I had him before. But I didn't calculate the fact that I live in a fucking alley, in a totally dumpy apartment, and I'm poor. Now he's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Fine, I can do this. Okay, we're gonna continue. He swallows hard, his Adam's apple bobbing in his throat. Before he takes a tentative step toward the sofa, as he sits down, you can see the cushion sink slightly under his weight, the fabric creaking softly. He perches on the edge, his hand still in his pockets, his body language tense and guarded. Yeah. What about the tea? That would also give him an excuse to sit beside him. As you hand him a cup of tea, you notice the slight tremor in his hand as he takes it from you. You sit down next to him, your body turned slightly toward him, your knees nearly touching his. You take a sip of your tea, the hot liquid scalding your tongue slightly, but you welcome the sensation. You watch him over the rim of your cup as he brings the cup to his lips, his eyes never leaving yours. Keep drinking my tea and smiling at him and ask him about his day. As you take another sip of your tea, you let the warmth spread through you, a sense of calm and control washing over you. You smile at him, a genuine smile that doesn't reach your eyes. But he doesn't notice. You set your cup down on the coffee table, the surface marred with scratches and stains, and turn to face him fully. You cross your legs, your ankle resting on your knee, your body language open and inviting. So, you begin, your voice soft and conversational. Tell me about your day. What brought you to the bus stop this evening? Not a great line. You watch him, your eyes never leaving his, as he shifts uncomfortably on the sofa. Come on, man. Sure. I did some mixed steps, but this guy's also acting a little uncomfortable too. He takes a sip of his tea. His hands still tremble slightly before he speaks. Oh, not much really, he stammers, his gaze flicking away from yours. Really? That's what you're gonna give me? It's hard to work with that. I'm just gonna say nothing? Okay, what should I say? When people think about positive things that they like, they might attribute those positive things to you. So if I could make him recall things that he likes or familiar to him, he might attribute that feeling to me, or very least he would think I'm making casual conversation. Ask him what he likes, yeah? What are his interests? Okay, let's go with that. You lean in slightly, your voice taking on a more intimate tone. But surely there's something that makes your day worthwhile. What do you like to do in your free time? What are your interests? You watch as his eyes dart back to yours, a flicker of interest sparking in them. Yes! He takes another sip of his tea, the liquid calming his nerves, and he begins to open up. Yes. As he takes a deep breath, he starts to relax, the tension in his shoulders easing slightly. Well, I'm really into politics. He is? He says, his voice gaining confidence. I love reading about current events, the scandals, the power struggles. It's like a real-life soap opera. He chuckles softly, his eyes lighting up with passion. And I love debating too, getting into heated discussions about policies and politicians. So this guy's probably a moderator on the politics subreddit. Say, that is so interesting. Tell me more. You lean in even closer, your eyes widening with faint interest. That's so fascinating, you say, your voice a low purr. Tell me more about the scandals you've been following. Which ones have caught your attention the most? You can see the effect of your enthusiasm has on him. His shoulders relax further, and he leans back into the sofa, his eyes brightening as he begins to talk. You watch as he launches into a passionate diatribe about the latest political scandal, his hands gesturing wildly as he speaks. He tells you about the corrupt officials, the backroom deals, the cover-ups, his voice rising with indignation. You nod along, your eyes never leaving his, your expression one rapt attention. Your expression of one of rapt attention? Inside your mind is a whirling of calculated thoughts. Keep listening. You maintain eye contact as he continues his rant, nodding occasionally to show your undivided attention. His hands gesture wildly, emphasizing his point, and his face flushes with passion. He doesn't seem to notice the slight smirk that tugs at the corner of your mouth, the one that betrays that your true feelings. As he speaks, you take in every detail of his body language, every nuance in his voice. This is the only thing he talks about. And the way they try to cover it up, it's just appalling, he concludes, slamming his fist into his palm for emphasis. He leans back, his chest heaving slightly from the exertion of his tirade. His eyes are bright, his cheek flushed, and he looks at you with a mix of anticipation and excitement, waiting for your response. Internally, you calculate the best way to proceed. Okay, obviously I'm not gonna know that much about it as he is. Lean your head on his shoulder and say that, yeah, it's too much. Makes me sad. That's why I don't keep up with it that much. Let's see if this works. Your hand rests gently on his shoulder, the slight weight of your touch making him stiffen momentarily before he relaxes into it. You can feel the warmth of his body through his shirt, the steady beat of his heart echoing in your ear. You let out a soft sigh, your voice barely above a whisper, as you say, "Yeah, it's too much. Makes me sad. That's why I don't keep up with it that much." I could have phrased it better. Maybe it's gonna work. Maybe he just thinks I'm a stupid donkey for not knowing about politics. But it might make him feel smart. Your victim's body tenses slightly at your touch, but he quickly relaxes, a small smile playing on his lips. He turns his head slightly, his eyes meeting yours, and he says, "I understand. It can be overwhelming, but someone has to stay informed, right? Keep them honest." He chuckles softly, his hand rising to rest on your back, his fingers lightly tracing the fabric of your shirt. I think he's a little uncomfortable with, like, actions where I kind of make moves unless I'm super subtle about it. So let's just see what is he going to do. Is he going to keep talking about politics? Let's see. Your eyes flicker briefly to his hand, and noting the casual intimacy of the gesture. You file this away, another layer of trust he's willingly given. Inside, you're calculating, dissecting his words, his actions, his emotions. You're not here to keep them honest. You think, your lips curving into a subtle smirk. No, you have a different kind of honesty in mind. Exactly. Is it gonna make like a move or something? I feel like I kind of did my thing. You let the silence linger for a moment, your head still resting on his shoulder. Before you continue, your voice soft and earnest. You know, I've always admired people like you. That's a great line. People who care enough to stay informed, to make a difference. You pause, your fingers lightly playing with the edge of his shirt, tracing the fabric in a rhythm that's almost hypnotic. It can be so draining. Yeah, we shouldn't just keep saying the same things though. I guess I just kept continuing. Okay. Place my hand on his tie. Okay. Come on, mate. Should I make like dinner or something? I don't know what to do. I know, we can like possibly invite him to some kind of shower. Ooh, that could be good. Your hand glides down his body, your fingers brushing against his thigh. He tenses slightly, his breath hitching in his throat. You can feel the heat radiating from him, a palpable energy that sparks a sense of power within you. Your touch is firm, yet gentle, careful balance designed to elicit both trust and arouser. You're so passionate, you murmur. Your voice barely above whisper. Okay, let him play. His body responds to your touch, muscles tensing and relaxing in quick succession. His breath comes in shallow bursts, each one carrying a hint of nervousness. You see the way his Adam's apple bobs, the pulse in his neck quickening. He swallows hard, his eyes darting to your hand on his thigh before meeting yours. Okay, this guy will never fucking make a move. What are we gonna do? Maybe like invite him to a shower or something? Let's maybe go to less direct about it. I can't just go take a shower. I guess like we no. No. Say, I could use a warm shower. How about you? You're leaning closer, your voice a hushed whisper. You know, I've been on my feet all day. A warm shower sounds absolutely divine. Would you like to join me? It's been a while since I had company in there. Your eyes meet his, holding his gaze for a moment longer than necessary, allowing the weight of your suggestion to settle. His breath hitches again, his eyes flicking to the door before returning to yours. Oh my god! He's trying to get up again? Jesus Christ, man. Okay, but let him... act. His Adam's apple bobs again. I don't know. I know more about... well, I heard Adam's apple more in this story than possibly my life. A subtle nod following. Sure, he says, his voice barely above a whisper, mirroring yours. A shower does sound nice. He swallows hard, his fingers tightening slightly on your back. You smile, a slow, calculated curve of your lips. Fantastic, you murmur, standing up and extending a hand toward him. Come, let's get you out of those clothes. I'm helping that? Alright. He might be into that. I mean, he's a guy, right? He could be into that. But what I'm thinking that he's just so damn uncomfortable. So, I don't know. I feel like if I try to lift his shirt, he's gonna just run out the window, well, just jump out the window or something. Or run out the front door. Okay, let's go with continue. Maybe I can just afford... I have some plan too. Maybe we can make dinner? So tell him to go shower. As he stands, you notice the subtle tremor in his hand, the barely perceptible quiver of his lips. You offer him a reassuring smile, your eyes cold and calculating. Don't worry, you say, your voice a smoothing melody. I'll take care of everything. You lead him down a dimly lit hallway, the walls adorned with faded prints and yellowed wallpaper. Continue. As you lead him down the hallway, the air grows colder, the scent of bleach more pronounced. The walls are adorned with faded prints and yellowed wallpaper. Again? peeling at the edges like the skin of an old wound. Each step echoes slightly, the hardwood floors creaking under the weight of your feet. I guess if I just went naked, then he would feel more comfortable. But it's hard to say with this guy. You pause at the bathroom door, your hand resting on the doorknob. You can feel his body heat behind you, his breaths coming in quick, nervous bursts. The bathroom is small, cramped, and casts an eerie glow from the single light bulb dangling from the ceiling. The bathtub is old, chipped, and stained. A rusted drain plug sitting in the bottom. We have just a tub? No shower? Okay. Right, let's start. But plug? Okay. Plug the bathtub and start running warm water and tell him to go first. Okay. You turn the faucet, the pipes groaning as the warm water begins to fill the tub. The sound is almost comforting, a white noise that drowns out the world outside. You glance at him, your expression neutral. Go ahead, you say, gesturing to the tub. Get comfortable. He hesitates for a moment, his eyes darting from you to the tub and back. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue here. Let's see what he's gonna play. You can see the wheels turning in his head, the gears of doubt and fear clashing against the desire to please you. His hand, still trembling slightly, reach for the hem of his shirt. He starts to lift it up, pausing as if waiting for your approval. You stand there, watching him, your eyes like ice chips, unmoved by his vulnerability. That's it, you encourage him. Your voice allows her, take it off. Let's just keep watching here. Let's just see what happens. He continues to lift his shirt, slowly revealing his toned abdomen. The shirt catches on his chin for a moment, and he has to tuck it free before it can be removed completely. As he tosses it aside, he feels a slight tremor in his arms. His muscles taut with tension. His eyes meet yours briefly, seeking reassurance, but you give none. Instead, you turn your attention to the tub, checking the water temperature with your head. And okay, this guy will not strip me, I think. So I need to strip myself, and if I did, he would probably feel more comfortable, because we would both be naked. Okay. Start taking off layers of clothing. You begin to unbutton your blouse, your fingers moving deftly and deliberately. The cool air of the apartment brushes against your skin, raising goosebumps as you expose more of your pale flesh. Your movements are slow, methodical, drawing out the movement and keeping his attention focused on you. You watch him from beneath your lashes, gauging his reactions. His eyes are wide, pupils dilated, his breath's coming faster now. Ooh. This guy might just die from a heart attack. From just seeing my naked ass. As you unbutton your blouse, his gaze is locked onto your every movement. You can see the struggle in his eyes, the battle between fear and arousal. His lips part slightly, as if he wants to say something, but no words come out. You smirk inwardly, enjoying the power you hold over him. You slip the blouse off your shoulders, letting it fall to the floor. Your blouse joins his shirt on the cold tile floor, the soft rustle fabric against the hard surface of stark contrast to the hum of the water filling the tub. You stand before him in a simple black bra, the cool air hardening your nipples through the thin fabric. You reach behind your back, unclasping the bra with a swift, practiced motion. You let it fall, exposing your small, taut breasts to his gaze. You know what would be lame? Imagine if he just likes big boobs, and now he's like, oh yeah, I lost interest now. His breath hitches as he takes in the sight of you, his eyes darting from your face to your exposed chest, and back again. The struggle in his eyes is more pronounced now, fear and arousal warring visibly, his hands still trembling, clench and unclench at his sides. You can see the muscles in his jaw tense as he swallows hard. His Adam's apple bobbing. Alright. You approach him slowly, your eyes never leaving his. The air between you is thick with tension, the anticipation palpable. You reach out, your hand gently cupping his cheek, your thumb brushing against his stubble. He leans into your touch slightly, his eyes fluttering closed for a moment. You can feel the heart radiating from his skin, his pulse quickening beneath your touch. Okay. Invite him to the bath and let him go first. As he hesitates, that he usually does, you take his hand, guiding him to the tub. You help him step in, your touch gentle yet firm. He winces as the hot water touches his skin, but you assure him, it's just hot at first, you'll get used to it. He nods, his eyes fixed on you, trusting your words. You sit on the edge of the tub, your knees close to his. Should I also get in? How big is my tub? How big is he? You watch as he submerges himself in the water, his body tensing slightly at the initial heat. His shoulders are hunched, his neck craned slightly, as if trying to keep his face out of the water. You can see the goosebumps on his skin, a mix of hot water and his nerves. You reach out, your hand resting on his shoulder, your fingers tracing idle patterns on his wet skin. Okay. I get in too over him and ask him to bathe me. We're playing with this guy. You slide into the bath, straddling him, your thighs pressing against his as you position yourself over him. The water sloshes slightly, the ripples gently lapping against your skin. You can feel his body tense beneath you, his heart pounding against your inner thigh. You lean forward, your hands resting on the edge of the tub, your face inches from his. Your eyes meet his, and you can see the fear reflected in them, but also a spark of desire. You know he's conflicted. A battle raging within him. You smile, a cold, calculated smile that doesn't reach your eyes. I could be better at smiling, though. I'm glad you're here, you say, your voice soft, soothing. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun together. You shift slightly, feeling the warmth of his body through the water. The heat radiating from him, you can see the rapid rise and fall of his chest, his breath coming in short gasps. You know he's trying to control his breathing, trying to calm himself down, but you also know that he's aroused, that the fear and the desire are mixing in a potent cocktail that's clouding his judgment. Fun? Leaning closer, your voice is a husky whisper. Yeah, fun. You and I, we're going to have so much fun together. You pause, your eyes flicking down to his lips, then back up to meet his gaze. But first, you need to do something for me. You need to bathe me. You say the word slowly, deliberately, watching his reaction. You see the confusion flicker across his face, the fear in his eyes, replaced briefly by a hint of uncertainty. He swallows hard, his Adam's apple bobbing, and you can see the struggle in his eyes. He's torn between the desire to please you and the fear that's gripping him. You smile, a small, cruel smile that doesn't reach your eyes. You know you've got him right where you want him. Yeah, this is actually a good strategy, but people might not be able to tell fear and excitement apart. So I'm trying to replace his fear with excitement. Also, on an unrelated note, I think I should just get a fucking gold medal for trying to make this guy comfortable. I'll just continue. His skin is smooth and warm beneath your touch. The water sluicing of him in rivulets that catch the dim light. You can feel the tension in his muscles, the way he's trying to hold still. Do not move, do not betray his fear. But his heart, it's racing, pounding against you, a drumbeat of panic and arousal. You leaning closer, your breath hot against his. Come on. I think we might need to be more explicit here. Just try to lean into the excitement. I think we will need to be beyond explicit here. Okay. We kiss him and say that we are excited, right? Because he's afraid. Maybe we can turn his fear into excitement. You lean in, your hips brushing against his. Soft and gentle at first, a calculated move to lull him into a false sense of security. His lips are warm, slightly parted in surprise, and you can taste the faint hint of fear mixed with the sweetness of his breath. You deepen the kiss, your tongue probing, exploring, dominating. You can feel his body tense, his hands clenching into fists, but you don't let it up. As you deepen the kiss, you feel his body stiffen, his hands clenching into fists, a clear sign of his internal struggle. You smile inwardly, enjoying the power you hold over him. His fear is palpable, yet you can also taste the desire that lingers beneath it. It's intoxicating, this mix of emotions, and you revel in it. You pull back slightly, your lips still grazing his, your eyes locked onto his. You can see the confusion in his gaze, the fear that's fighting to surface, but you also see the spark of desire, the flicker of interest that you've so carefully cultivated. You lean in again, your voice a low, sultry whisper. You see, I've always been drawn to passion. It's what drives us, isn't it? That's a great line again. Better than I put it, I guess. Okay, let him answer. It seems like this guy only talks about politics. Fuck. You feel his breath hitch, his body tensing further as you whisper those words. You can see the gears turning in his mind, the confusion and fear warring with the desire you've sparked. You smile, slow, predatorial smile, your eyes never leaving his. You reach up, your fingers tracing the line of his jaw, feeling the stubble beneath your touch. Come on, say something! As you stroke his jaw, you can feel the slight tremble in his muscles, a testament to his internal turmoil. So this guy is just sitting in my tub for 10 plus minutes, saying nothing. What am I supposed to do here? His eyes, wide and frightened, meet yours, and you can see the question swirling within them. You lean again, your voice a soft murmur. You're wondering why I'm drawn to you, aren't you? It's not just your passion for politics, though that's intriguing. Are we gonna just about to say something stupid? I'm kind of curious what my character would say. Maybe we're gonna we try to recover it if you say something stupid. You pause, allowing the silence to stretch between you, heightening his anticipation. Yeah, I'm not sure I can say anything here. Your eyes, cold and calculating, bore into his, dissecting his every reaction. You can see the fear in his eyes, the question lingering on his lips, and you smile, a cruel, predatory smile. It's your conviction. You continue, your voice a low, almost hypnotic tone. Huh? Okay, is he gonna buy that? I think we're kind of overselling the compliments here. Keep in mind, this guy we just found over an hour ago in the bus stop. All he did was talk about politics. You can see the fear in his eyes, the question lingering on his lips, and you smile, a cruel predatory smile. Yeah. You continue, your voice low, almost hypnotic tone, the way you speak about it. The fire in your eyes when you discuss the latest scandal, it's intoxicating. You believe it's something so strongly, you're willing to fight for it. Oh, that's something I can work with. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Say that this fire is missing from most these days. I'm drawn to it. Okay. Maybe he's gonna like that. As you speak, your eyes never leave his, a cold intensity burning within them. You watch as his Adam's apple bobs, a sign of his swallowing hard, his fear palpable. You can see the beads of sweat forming on his brow, his hands clenching and unclenching at his sides. Yet amidst the fear, there is a spark, a flicker of interest that you've ignited. Your mind, a calculating machine, dissects his reactions. Fear is a powerful tool. You think, but it's the interest, the spark, that keeps him off balance, that makes him pliable. You continue, your voice a soft purr. You see, most people these days, they are pathetic. Apathetic. They don't care about anything. They just float through life. But not you. You care. You burn. Saying pathetic would be more on brand for me, for the character. You see, as you speak, your fingers continue their gentle caress of his jaw. The stubble, rough against your fingertips, you can feel the heat radiating from his body, a mix of fear and arousal. His breath hitches again, his chest rising and falling rapidly, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. You can see the pulse in his neck, rapid staccato beat that matches the rhythm of his breath. Okay, I think this could be a good opportunity to move him to the bed, maybe? I don't know. They didn't do much baiting, but like I guess we sat in the tub for some time now. Although I kind of want to see his reaction, if we get one. You decide to capitalize on this mix of emotions, your voice dropping to a near whisper. You're so tense, aren't you? All this excitement is getting to you. You leaning closer, your breath hot on his ear. Let's help you relax, shall we? Your hands, slick with the sweat of anticipation, begin to slowly slide down his chest, tracing the lines of his muscles through his shirt. Okay. I want him to talk. Yeah. Pull back your hand and smile. Okay. I'm gonna come up as playful. As you pull back your hand, a cruel smile spreads across your face, the corners of your lips curling upward like a cat's. Your eyes cold and calculating meet his, and you can see the confusion, fear warring within him. What the fuck, man? You take a step back, your hands rising to your blouse, your fingers working the buttons with practiced ease. What buttons? Okay, I have... Okay. Say that you are going to check on your phone quickly if you have work tomorrow. He should sit still for, a minute. You will be right back. Maybe he's gonna like this. Yeah, I'm just giving him a bit of a breather. You rise from the sofa. No. Seems like we're losing context here. Your eyes never leaving his as you make your way to the kitchen. Your heels clicking against the worn floorboards. The apartment is shrouded in darkness, save for the dim glow of a single lamp in the corner, casting long dancing shadows across the walls. You can feel his gaze on you as you walk, the weight of it heavy and palpable, a mix of fear and curiosity. He's so passive. I guess it's fine. Should I just add that story? Yeah. Keep in mind that he is in the tub waiting for me to return, checking my phone, right? Let's try this. As you enter the kitchen, the dim light from the lamp casts eerie shadows on the peeling wallpaper. You grab your phone from the counter, the screen illuminating the room with a natural glow. Your reflection in the window shows your cold and blinking eyes, a stark contrast to the warmth of the kitchen lights. You quickly check your messages, half smile playing on your lips as you see a new notification. Okay. Now story next. Okay. Go grab a knife with your left hand and slightly hide it behind your back and start walking toward the bathroom. I don't even know his name. Where my guest is taking a bath and slightly peek inside while smiling. Yeah. And say, I checked and I don't have work tomorrow. Making sure they don't see the knife. Okay, that's a bit much, but seemingly the AI is losing a bit of context here. As you slip the knife into your left hand, the cool metal against your palm sends a thrill of anticipation through you. You tuck it behind your back, the handle pressing against your lower spine, hidden from view. You turn toward the bathroom, your steps silent on the creaky floorboards. The dim light from the lamp in the living room casts long shadows that dance and flicker as you move, creating an eerie atmosphere. You pause at the bathroom door, your eyes adjusting to the dim light filtering from the hallway. You can hear the soft sound of water lapping against the sides of the tub, a soothing rhythm that bellies the tension in the air. With a subtle push, the door creaks open, revealing a man sitting in the bathtub, his body submerged up to his shoulders, his eyes wide with a mix of fear and curiosity. Smile at him. We're gonna do nothing else. For now. Also, it might work better if you don't do that much at the same time. You slide the bathroom door open. A chilly smile plays on your lips, your eyes gleaming with a cold intensity that sends a shiver down a man's spine. He tries to hide his nervousness by adjusting his position in the tub, but his hands tremble slightly, betraying his true feelings. Good news, you say, your voice smooth, controlled purr. I don't have work tomorrow. We can take our time. Let's continue. Let's see what else would happen. Although the AI is a little bit breaking, he swallows hard, his Adam's apple bubbling visibly as he struggles to find a response. The words that you just spoken send a wave of relief mixed with the fresh surge of fear coursing through his veins. That's great, he manages to stammer, his eyes darting to the door, no doubt wishing he could make a run for it. Okay, take a turn. Tell him. Let's continue, shall we? Let's do something sexy. Tell him to close his eyes. Your smile widens, a predator glint in your eyes as you take a step closer to the top, your left hand still concealing the knife. Let's continue, shall we? You say, your voice a husky whisper that sends a ripple of tension through the air. Let's do something sexy. You pause, your gaze locking onto his, the silence stretching between you like a taut wire. Close your eyes. That was a little bit too direct. I tried to make my instructions brief, but I wouldn't be against that if AI a little bit extrapolated and try to expand on it instead of talking about his Adam's apple another time. Let's see what he does. The man hesitates, his breath hitched in his throat, the whites of his eyes visible as he stares at you. Uncertainty warring with the spark of desire you've kindled. You can see the internal struggle playing out on his face, the fear of unknown battling with the primal urge to comply, his hands still submerged in water, clenching the fist, the knuckle pale and tense. Please. Oh my god! Maybe I should tell him to talk about politics. That's gonna ease him up. His plea is a whisper, barely audible over the soft sound of the water lapping against the tub. His eyes are squealed shut. A single tear escaping to trace path down his cheek. The sigh of vulnerability sends a thrill coursing through you, a primal satisfaction that feeds your dark desires. You take a step closer, the edge of the tub digging into your shins as you lean over him. Say, no. Whisper, I love you, while slicing his throat open. You lean in, your lips brushing against his ear, the warmth of your breath sending a shiver down his spine. I love you. You whisper, your voice a sweet, sickening lullaby. As the words leave your lips, your right hand snakes out, the knife flashing in the dim light. You press the blade against his throat, the cold steel against his hot skin. His breath hitches, a choked gasp escaping his lips as he feels the cold kiss of the blade against his throat. A single drop of blood wells up, trickling down the length of the knife, painting a crimson path on his skin. You can see the terror in his eyes, even with them closed, the muscles in his neck tensing as he tries to pull away, but your grip is firm, unyielding. The warmth of his blood against your hand is intoxicating. A heady scent filling the air as the life slowly ebbs from his body. His hands, once clenched into fists, now float limply in the water, the color draining from his face. As shock sets in, his eyes, though closed, twitch under their lids, the fear and betrayal he must be feeling palpable in the room. Say, it's okay. I love you. Yeah. And keep stroking his head. It's okay now. You can rest. Your free hand, the one not holding the knife, gently cups his side of his face, your thumb brushing against the tear that stains his cheek. Your touch is soft, almost tender, a stark contrast to the cold steel pressed against his throat. It's okay, you whisper, your voice soothing, like a mother comforting a child. I love you. You can rest now. It's all over. Continue. Your fingers continue to stroke his head, the soft strands of his hair damp against your skin. You can feel his body growing limp, the tension leaving him as his life slips away. The warmth of his blood spreads across your hand, the metallic scent filling your nostrils. His breath grows shallower, his chest barely rising with each inhale. His heartbeat, once so strong and steady, now fades, a faint echo in your mind. Keep listening to his heartbeat until it stops. Your ears pressed against his chest, the sound of his heartbeat a dull thud against your cheek. You can feel the rhythm slowly slowing, each beat growing weaker, more distant. The warmth of his skin is fading, the life slowly draining from him. You keep your eyes closed, savoring the moment, the clinical part of your mind calculating the time it will take for his heart to stop completely. Your lips curl into a slight smile as you continue to listen. The sound of his heartbeat is a symphony of your own making. The clinical part of your mind, the part that never sleeps, never feels, takes off the seconds in your head. You estimate 3 more minutes, perhaps less. You could rush it. Perhaps the knife deeper, but where's the fun in that? You have earned this, the slow, agonizing descent into nothingness. Okay. Keep watching. Is he like out? I think he's out already. You remain motionless, your body pressed against his, as if waiting for a final embrace. Your breaths are shallow, almost in sync with his. As you watch the light fade from his eyes, your eyelids twitch, a reflex of the dying, but there's no spark of awareness, no fight left in him. His body is a mere shell. Now, a husk that once housed a living, breathing human. Kiss him one last time. Your lips press against his, cold and firm. You savor the last moment of his warmth, the last tremor of life in his body. His lips are soft, almost lifeless, as your tongue traces the seam of his mouth. A final, morbid exploration. The taste of his blood is metallic, bitter, yet strangely comforting. You pull back, his blood smeared across your lips, a gruesome lipstick that you wear with pride. Drop the blade into the tub and stand up. As you release the knife, it clatters against the porcelain, the sound echoing in the small bathroom. The water ripples slightly, the red tinge of his blood spreading slowly, like a macabre watercolor painting. You stand up, the tile floor cold and hard against your bare feet. Your body is slick with sweat and his blood, a testament to the intense dance of life and death you've just performed. Walk to the mirror and take a long look. In the dimly lit bathroom, you approach the mirror, your reflection staring back at you with a cold, detached gaze. Your eyes, a deep shade of blue, are like ice, devoid of any emotion. The reflection reveals your slender flame, still slick with sweat and his blood. It's smeared across your chest, your arms, a macabre art piece that you've created. Keep staring. As you stand before the mirror, you can't help but admire the stark contrast between your pale skin and the crimson streaks adorning it. You reach up, tracing the blood on your cheek with a fingertip, leaving a trail that mixes with the droplets of water clinging to your skin. The sight is almost poetic, a twisted dance of life and death that you've orchestrated. Keep staring into the mirror. As you study your reflection, you notice the subtle tremor in your hand, a remnant of the adrenaline still coursing through your veins. You take a deep breath, steadying yourself, and continue to scrutinize your appearance. Your hair, usually so neat and tidy, is now disheveled, strands clinging to your face and neck. Force yourself to smile into the mirror. Your reflection stares back at you, the smile you force on your lips, looking grotesque against the bloody canvas of your face. The upturned corners of your mouth don't reach your eyes, which remain cold and unyielding. You hold the smile for a moment, allowing your muscle to memorize the sensation before letting it slip away. You turn away from the mirror, your reflection fading into the darkness as you step out of the bathroom. The apartment is shrouded in thick silence, broken only by the occasional hum of the city outside. The living room is a mess, discarded clothes, empty glasses, and crumpled papers. A half-finished meal sits on the coffee table, the food congealing in the cool air. I go to sleep as I am, and fall asleep. And the story ends. I'm not sure you need to specify that. As you collapse onto your bed, the faint smell of bleach and blood filling your nostrils, you close your eyes and let sleep take you, your body still humming with the remnants of adrenaline. But exhaustion sets in quickly, pulling you into deep, dreamless sleep. You don't bother to clean it yourself, the blood drying on your skin as you drift off. And that is the story. The end.